Welcome back. So this next lesson is going to deal with yokai enemies, and if you haven't already, please do check out the burst counter guide. You gotta know it by this point because it's going to form the backbone of gameplay. So yokai have a very different rule set compared to humans. As you can see right away, they have a purple ki bar, and they do use some ki, but not very much. And they regenerate that ki while in the yokai realm, pretty much back to full, which is why it's very important to get rid of those yokai realms right away. You want to get rid of them by just ki pulsing, and then you are good to go. They do not have the same rule set as you. I wish you could do a move like that, but you can't. There's no move that's analogous to that. They do usually do burst attacks, so it's very important for you to understand when to perform a burst counter, again, which is why it's so important to learn how to do them via the guide. Also, it is safe to assume that yokai in general always have hyper armor. Very rarely do they get staggered when they have their ki. I actually happened to perform something there. I didn't want to right away, but let me show you what happens when you deplete their ki bar. Alright, once you deplete their ki bar, go all out. See, non-stop stagger fest. But if they are able to refresh their ki, they will actually generate a yokai realm and get a large portion of their ki back. But you notice how there's like a blinking red bar? That refers to their maximum ki. So right now, watch what happens to the purple bar as I allow it to regenerate as much as it can. So I'm going to leave this yokai realm in there, and you're going to see, hopefully, eventually, that, yeah, my ki recovery is pretty garbage. And this Yoki's ki is actually pretty good, but alright, come on, I need you to get back to full. But come on, alright, come on. Alright, good, we're gonna keep this yokai realm. So you'll see that the purple bar does not go past the, yeah, there you go. See how the purple bar did not go past that flashing point? Yeah, that's because we have reduced his maximum ki. So even if you screw up, it's really not too bad. So what happens if you deplete the maximum ki? I didn't get to show it, but you kill him. Well, that's one way to do it. You kill him. All right, let's deplete the maximum ki now, and I'll explain strategies to do so in a moment. I just need to get, all right, here we go. All right, if you deplete maximum ki, they fall down, and you can go for a grapple. You definitely want to go for it, maybe a hit or two in between, but it's pretty rad. So you can go for a grapple, and on higher difficulties, this is effectively one of the most essential. You're gonna need to know how to grapple the yokai bosses so you can have a reasonable time. That is absolutely huge. All right, I'm gonna kill him to demonstrate one strategy that I will strongly advise any player to get accustomed to. Okay, so not all, but most yokai kind of have a weak point of sorts. Some of the easier ones, not so much, but in this case, he has horns that break. Many yokai do have horns that break, or they have like a glowing spot on their arm, or like their belly is glowing. So generally like a glowing spot indicates that it's a weak point, and what you can do is you can attack. I would recommend like a really powerful high ki damage, high break attack, just something really powerful to break that horn. So I'm gonna do a high stance strong. I do 480 damage. Let's see what my damage would be normally. Hey, I do extra damage, and I did a whopping amount of max ki damage. So you can use that in order to greatly weaken their max ki and get them more liable to a grapple. Another great thing you're going to want to do is really rely upon those burst counters to assist you in depleting that maximum ki. And again, when their ki is completely gone, that is when you can go all out, and you should absolutely go all out. So again, break the horn to get a lot of max key damage. Burst counters are great. See, I depleted a good chunk with that. Let's break that horn. Let's see if I can. Nope. Cleanse the Yokai realm. Let's break that horn. Come on. Nope, I didn't break it. Oh, but I broke it now. And he was low on ki. Boom. Massive amount of damage. He'll refresh, but hey, guess what? I knew that's what he was gonna do, because that's what all yokai do after a grapple. Sometimes when yokai do refresh their ki, they may have a wake up attack or a counter attack. So you'll kind of have to study opponents and be wary of what they can do. But you basically get a massive damage boost, and that's kind of how you want to do things. You can even try to inflict some ki damage beforehand. You know, let's do a burst counter on his burst attack, and then now he's pretty low on ki. Oh, look at that. And now I'm pretty sure I can knock him all the way down. Look how vulnerable he is. Oh, and I messed my grapple. Great demonstration. So you got a brief period of time. Some enemies, believe it or not, were actually just the moment you hit them with something else instead of a grapple, they'll just like get back up, and that can be kind of frustrating. So it'll be kind of a process to understand which enemies you can freely go for the attacks on, or which ones you gotta just go for that grapple immediately. But in general, they get knocked down, you go for the grapple, and you absolutely murder them. So on bosses, this will apply too. Many bosses have weak spots, like I was talking about, like the horns. You'll see once we get to the real game that we can exploit this to develop our own strategies. It is very important to use that so we can have an easier time with the game. But yeah, so I think that's really about it when it comes to basic AI understanding. Come on, knock down, please. No! But yeah, do burst counters. Oh, that was lucky. I broke his ki. Come on. Oh, dead. Okay. So I think that just about covers it for basic AI in general. So humans, again, from the last video, were a bit more complex, but yokai have their own set of rules. So just a quick little recap for both of them, since this is kind of a two-parter. So humans kind of operate on the same playing field as you do, in general, not all the time, whereas yokai have very, very different sort of rules when it comes to dealing with them. Just assume that yokai have hyper armor at all times. There's many enemies that do not, but you go with that, you go with what's safe, and you'll have a much easier time. So next lesson's actually going to be involving the actual game. So hope you guys have found this introductory series helpful. When I get back, we are going to actually start the first mission, and I'll guide you along there. So thank you guys for watching. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.